to come. The one who was, the one who is, the one who is to come.
Lamentations 3, the Lord is good to those who wait for him, to the soul who seeks him. There's something really interesting. I just want to illustrate it very quickly to you. There are three zones in life, okay? There is the zone of potential, okay? In potential zone, everything is new, fresh, exciting, fun. You could equate it to a new job. You could equate it to a new car. You could equate it to a new marriage. You could equate it to a new convert, okay? Everything's new, fresh, and exciting in potential, right? People will use words like, they're the best people ever. They're the nicest people I've ever met. It's so great to be around them. I love my boss. He or she is awesome. And then what is new leads to another zone, and that we would call problem. So potential always gives way to problem. And in problem, what's new becomes old. What was fun becomes boring. What was fresh now is stale. True story, my nephew got married. The next morning I saw him. I said, Jay, how's married life? He goes, oh, Uncle Wendell, it's awesome. Right? This was a day after the ceremony. I saw him 1 year later to the day. Hey, Jay, how's marriage? It's marriage, right? It was that quick, right? What's new becomes old. What's fresh becomes stale. What's exciting becomes boring. Because all of a sudden, what was great now is a problem I've got to work in my life. Everybody with me? Do you know what so many people do, though? So many people shortchange it. I said there's three zones, but most people go back to zone one because I need to get rid of this. My boss, who was great, who now won't let me off on the day that I want, I guess I need a new job. That church that I loved, that just seemed to have the best people around, I had a disagreement with the pastor, and I guess I need to find a new church. Everybody with me? Potential always gives way to problems. But there's another zone. And that zone is payoff. Payoff. Paul says that our problems are light and momentary struggles that are achieving for us a glory that far outweighs any of the problems. But so many in our society, we're in this cycle where we perpetually live in potential and problem, not recognizing that maybe those struggles are there for God to do some of his best work in our life. And if I'll hold on, and I won't let go, God could do something, boy, that could far outweigh any of what I'm going through right now. That zone is payoff. In payoff, people will use words like, it was the best ever. People will use words like, I can't imagine it being any better in my life. I'll give you a true story. Some dear friends of mine, he was a minister. He cheated on his wife, covered it up for 6 months, lied about it. It was awful, okay? She stayed with him, and they worked through the marriage. It was years in the making. They are 20 years removed from when that tragedy occurred in their life. And I asked her the other day, I said, Raina, how's your marriage? And she looked at me with the biggest grin on her face. And she said, it is the best I could ever have hoped for. I said, what do you mean? She said, I can tell you, Wendell, that if I had to go back to what was and relive it again, I would do it again in a heartbeat to get the relationship I have now. Isn't that something? But only God does that kind of work. Only God does that kind of transformation. So many of us, we have struggles. We choose instant gratification and exit when maybe God's really trying to do something and teach us something in our lives.
Glory.